The radiation part. Now, I had the oncologist, inform me that obviously they give you that pre-medical interview and say, well, Luke, the radiation is going to burn you a little bit. It's going to obviously cause some severe nausea and some side effects. For me, I sort of brushed it off. I thought, look, I'll be okay. To be honest with you, I felt very ill. At that time, obviously, I had to prepare my own meals. There's nothing worse than trying to prepare your own meals and go shopping for your own food when you're having radiation. Then you've got extreme nausea, and every smell is very intoxicating. It's just absolutely atrocious. Try not to vomit every time you go into a shopping centre, and you just sort of try to obviously get in, get out. So now with the radiation, for me to get through that, I had to go through 17 rounds of radiation to my head, because obviously the tumour is located in the back of my brain. But that type of tumour also had a history of actually travelling through the spine. So I had 13 rounds of radiation to the spine as well. So I had 30 rounds of radiation at a high intense rate to obviously kill the cancer, which it did. But the side effects from that was obviously the severe burning of my head, and putting the mask on, obviously to protect the burning, which didn't really do too much. So the side effects of that, obviously, was I don't have any hair now. It's all gone. Had a full head of hair, but the nausea from getting through the radiation was quite toxifying. But the hope for me to get through that, every time, if you can visualize this, every time I would go in for a radiation, I'd be laying down on my face, and I used to visualize me doing some form of martial arts, kata or something like that. Yeah, and that really helped me. So I identified and I studied when the radiation machine would start working, and it would actually start with a click noise. So when it did that, what I would do was actually breathe in before it would happen, and the radiation would click and it would start, then I would just breathe out from my nose. So that gave me hope, and it gave me a better choice of actually overcoming that radiation. For me personally, in regards to every day, I still felt like I was at work, but I was in another situation because I was doing the 3 weeks of treatment and then going home. So it was still like being at work and being on the working away system. So, but really what gave me hope was being with my family, being home with my family, and feeding my mind with positive material still to that time. So now with chemo, the plan was to do 4 months of chemotherapy, 3 weeks on and 1 week off. So where I actually stay in the hospital ward for 3 weeks at a time, very isolated, no free Wi-Fi or anything like that. I just had my own TV. But obviously, waking up in the fetal position from the chemotherapy was a major side effect, and the trying to maintain that hope for me was obviously feeding my mind with music, but also talking to other people who are going through the same circumstances like myself, but also talking to the cleaners and the nurses and asking them how their day was going, because I found that kept me on track, getting through that horrible journey.